What's up, everyone? Back for more Blazor magic? Well, you are in right spot. Today we will understand what makes component-based architecture such as Blazor so smooth. On the screen you are seeing my website. On the left I have this sidebar. In the center I have this snake game. And if you are tired of this game, you can go ahead and play another game. Yes, with AI, or load a PowerPoint if you will, like this. So what makes Blazor so highly interactive, right? The secrets in its component-based architecture. And Blazor got a secret. Let me break it down. So I have created this architecture for you and I'm 95% sure this is right. Am I 100% certain? Do I look like a god to you? So there are total 10 steps. So in order to access any web application, you go to the browser and type in the URL, which makes the call to the server. That's what we call it initial request. Now server responds with HTML, CSS, the DOM in nature, and one JavaScript file in particular called blazor.web.js, and this is very important file because this file creates a WebSocket connection from a server to client using SignalR. Now server creates an in-memory representation of the first initial DOM. We call it render tree. So this is nothing but your initial stage of web page. Now user side interacting with the website, like clicking on a button. As you saw, I was playing a game in the background on my website, that kind of event. So that event is captured by blazor.web.js and it converts that into binary message and send it across SignalR to the server. Now based on the new information, server updates the in-memory representation and creates a new render tree. Now it has two trees, old tree and the new tree with the new information. Now it performs something called UI diff. This is called diffing process, where it compares new tree with an old tree and identifies the difference between these two. Now based on user interaction, the new component has been added to the new render tree, and that is the difference between old and the new tree. Now this difference between old and new tree is patched in a binary message and send it through SignalR back to the client machine. Now back on client side, we have blazor.web.js which decodes this binary message, converts back to DOM and patch the DOM with new information. Initially on UI, you had only one component. Server sent you another component. Blazor.web.js saw that difference and only adds that component to the UI rather than refreshing entire page. It just updates that particular piece of the UI. The UI rendering was so smooth and quick, the user didn't even see all this process that happens in the background. And frankly speaking, user doesn't even have to know this process in the background. Let me show you all this in action. Here I have Blazor component counter. Let's inspect this component. Let me take you to the network tab. Now watch closely what happens when I refresh this page. You see all this information is loaded. This is your initial request that I was talking about. Client make an initial request to the server and server responds with DOM, that is HTML, CSS and all other resources those are necessary, with one more extra thing, blazor.web.js right there. Now if you filter this by WebSocket where it says WS, you will see there's one WebSocket connection. This is your SignalR connection with the client application. Now from here, go to the messages tab and you will see the messages are exchanged in real time between client and server. These are the binary messages that I was talking in that architecture framework. These are the binary messages sent from the client to the server, from the server to the client, and then they are decoded by the blazor.web.js to make a sense on the UI. Now watch closely what happens when I click on the click button. Watch here. You see new binary message has been sent from client to server with more information, so the size has increased. Now look again here. There you go. So client sent the message, server respond with message, blazor.web.js decode that message and patch the DOM back with the new information. That is this counter variable. That's the overall architecture. So what happens, right? This entire web page is unaffected by the change that has been done here. That's why it's called component-based architecture. Only the component in question will get refreshed. Other components on the web page will have no impact because the blazor.web.js only patch the difference, not the entire web page. That's amazing, right? I hope now you have better understanding of Blazor Interactivity powered by blazor.web.js, SignalR and this binary messages and that render tree. I have written a detailed article on this one, so I'll link that down in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if this was helpful, you know what to do. See you in next one.